Fabulous. Okay, so hello everyone and welcome to our series of Mothers in Business interviews. I'm so super excited today and honoured to have our guest, Lucy Larsson. Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Linda. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. It's great to have you. And you are our international guest. You are coming, well, originally from Sweden, but you are coming from us. Where are you from right now? You're in Georgia, is that right?
Yes, I am in Georgia.
Yeah,
it's
fabulous.
Beautiful country. Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, before we go into, diving into your incredible story and hearing about the challenges, the opportunities that you've gone through, what I'd like to do is I'd like to share your amazing bio with our audience. So our audience is mothers in business, and they will be truly inspired by your story. So let me just quickly go through your wonderful bio. Okay, so let me just get that up. Okay, so Lucy, leaving her paradise in Samoa to create her own paradise in Sweden. Lucy Larsson's journey has taken her across oceans from New Zealand, Germany, Denmark, Kosovo, France, Morocco to Vietnam. Wow, you're truly a global woman. With a challenging path into the Swedish society, overcoming the language barrier and obstacles in her career, Lucy emphasizes the importance of prioritizing herself, daring to look ahead and taking a leap of faith to change your life around. With courage and determination, she has today gained more than 17 years of experience in leading roles in HR and training and development in companies of organizations, including the UN, the Swedish Civil Contingency Agency, and the Swedish Armed Forces. A girl from a small village in Samoa became a driven and brave woman, leaving her 9-to-5 job to become an entrepreneur with a mission to help immigrant women create their own paradise by reigniting self-confidence, making choices to do what they want and what they are passionate about. To integrate into society is about integrating all of yourself, your values, competence, knowledge, success, failures, and culture. Therefore, Lucy is fully committed in her work as a career coach to break norms, create a safe space to empower other women, and create more successful stories. Lucy is a published author, a passionate storyteller, and an enthusiastic trainer. Lucy has spoken at a number of events where she combines storytelling and her love for Samoan dance to mesmerize her audience. Lucy is a co-author in the Global Woman book, Tap Into Your Power 2021, and the anthology. Let's welcome Lucy to our platform. It's an absolute honor to have you here, Lucy. Thank you so much. And what an incredible bio you have. Well done for that. Now,
thank you.
You're welcome. Now, I know that obviously when we have these incredible bios, there is a journey behind that. There's a story behind every single bio. And what I would love for you to do is to just spend a few minutes telling us about your incredible story, your journey of courage, bravery, whatever it took for you to get to this point today. Because our listeners are mothers, our key audience are mothers, and they're mothers that are in business, mothers that are thinking about getting into business, some that, have a real passion, a real dream to do more, to be more, to achieve more, but have that stumbling block. Sometimes they feel like they're not good enough. They feel like they're going to be judged, but we really feel that your story will be one that will empower and inspire them. So take us through your story, please.
Yes, sure. Thank you so much, Linda, for having me on your talk. It's a great honor for me, and I'm very happy to share my story. And you know something? When I was listening to that bio, I was thinking, who is that woman?
That is amazing. I'm so glad that you said that, because whenever we have people speaking on our platform, we always ask them for their bio, and we often get that very same reaction. They're like, wow, who is that? Is that me? Is that someone else? Yeah. So congratulations to you.
So it's great. It's another thing to write it yourself, and it's another thing to hear it, someone read it out. So thank you. And yes, so about my story. My story, I can start by sharing the person that inspired me the most to take this journey and where I am today. And it is my mother. My mother, she is a woman, a very strong woman. She gave up her career as a nurse to be a wife and a mother and a housewife at home. She gave birth to 10 children. And I am the seventh from the eldest. I am 44 years old now. And she has gave me all the reasons to go through this journey. And one of the reasons, a strong point of my journey with my mother is the way I grew up in Samoa. I saw her going through all her daily activities, her chores, taking care of the children, the extended family, and bringing in the cousins from the different villages in Samoa. And she raised them all. And in all of that, she managed to love everyone regardless. And regardless of the duties in the village and extended family or in the church, she raised everyone with love. And the way I see today, the people that she has raised and that come in contact with her, they have successful lives. Most of them have moved overseas and build their own empires and create their own lives. And that is the person that inspired me the most. And the challenge along the way was a letter that I received from one of my older sisters when I studied in New Zealand, where she wrote something about there is no future for us girls in Samoa. And it really hit me because I heard something like, I heard something my father shared with us when I grew up is girls, the boys inherit the things in our family. The girls, they grew up, they get married, and they move in with their husbands, and they move with their husbands. And that statement that I heard growing up, I wrote about it in the book, in Tap Into Your Power. It made me, it gave me a challenge, an ultimatum. Will I stay? Will I ever accept that? It made me feel like I was not so important as a woman because of my gender. I grew up, I get married, and I move away. And the family that I call my family, I will not get something from them. So is it my gender or is it me? So those are the thoughts that I grew up with me, and I took it with me along the way. So in New Zealand, when I studied, I had that image, that picture in my head. No, I am not growing up in Samoa. I will not live in Samoa. I will not marry a Samoan. And then I met a Swedish man in New Zealand, and I got married and I moved to Sweden. And I took with me, why did I do what I do? It was that statement that I heard. And it was a struggle of identity and belonging. Do I fit in? Do I belong? And who am I? Who am I? And is my identity determined and identified as my gender or my values and what I can do, my competence and my knowledge? So all these things were mixing up in my world. And so in Sweden, I arrived in Sweden. I was 24 and I got married in Sweden. So it's a similar struggle like everyone else. Moving to a new country, they had to learn the language, adapt and adjust, look for jobs. It was really a struggle there where I visited one of the jobs agency, and the woman there I met, she was repeatedly telling me, you must speak Swedish, you must speak Swedish. And I was so sad, I was so angry, and I was frozen. It was so cold. I became very sad, but at the same time I was like, you are nobody. It's like I felt that you're nothing. So that picture, it got me very angry, and I thought, I came all this way. There is no way I am nobody. Yeah. So I used that as a fuel. What that woman said to me to have the mentality, I will prove you wrong. I don't have to speak perfect Swedish to get a job here in Sweden. So I took my journey, work hard, learn the language, look for jobs, and do it in different ways. And all of this journey, I can say that it has been a process of building my self-image. Who am I? Who do I want to be? The combination of what I believe in and what my family has taught me, and how I should be as a person. So it was that struggle, trying to find my place with myself, first of all, and find my place with my family, with my friends, and the society, and globally in general. So that's the beginning of my story, and where I am today. Yes, fast forward to where I am now. Last year in June, I left my job, my 9-to-5 job, and started my business as a coach and a mentor and a trainer. And I left my job at the Swedish military. I did not know what I was doing. I had no plan. I had no idea. But I felt that it was time to move on. I was feeling stuck at the time. I couldn't really have that feeling of I am useful here, or they see me, they see my value. My ability was not really utilized in the way that I would have the motivation to do a good job. So I left my job and started my business. And with that mentality that I think back to my mother and how she did what she did, and the constantly advice, never give up. If you have the will, if there's a will, there's a way. Never give up. And what does it mean? It's nice to say, of course, it's easy to say, but what does it really mean? And that's what I've learned along the way. It's you can have a very strong will to do something or go through doing something, but if you do not have a strong self-image of who you are and what you are, then it won't last. So I parallel with the strong will that I inherit from my mother. I believe that, and building my self-image of reprogramming who am I, my values and my competence, and how I am to the people around me. So I'm still working on it. And I believe that it's a process, that it's a never-ending process. It's something that we continue to do. And I also like to say it's an amazing journey. It's challenging. I have my weeks of tears. I call my crying weeks. I can cry and just detox my emotions. At the same time, I am amazed by what I discover of who I am really and what I am capable of. Yeah, and here I am with you, and I joined the Global Woman, and I met you, Linda, and it's an amazing journey to discover oneself.
Wow, Lucy. I mean, I was there. I don't know if you can notice, but I was frantically writing notes every time you said something, because there were so many golden nuggets that you just shared there. And I'd love to just go back on a few things just to get a bit more information. So first of all, you moved from Samoa to Sweden. That is such a brave move, because you would have had to have left your family, and you said you were number 7 of 10. So with your mum being the inspiration she is, and helping out the community, helping the whole family, I would imagine that you had quite a strong bond with your family, and to leave that to go to a new country, that must have been one of your biggest challenges, just leaving that security of your family and that support, and that's a decision that I'd imagine that you didn't take lightly. Yeah, I can imagine. Yes.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, I agree. It was not an easy decision. At the same time, I was when you hear a lot about this. I have heard. I think it's what's his name now? Bob Proctor. He's talking about when your will is stronger, when what you want is stronger than your mindset, then things happen. And I think what I wanted to be something much more than a woman that get married and be a housewife. That was strong enough to get me going, but the compassion, the love, and the connection with my parents and my family, that was not an easy part.
Yeah.
So it's that compromise that goes up and down, and in time, I adjust and find ways to handle it.
Great. Okay. And I love what you say about your mum being an inspiration, because, that is the key thing, isn't it? As mothers, whether it's your own mum or you yourself as a mother, you are an inspiration to your children. And so what you do will inspire generations to come. And it's wonderful that you've used your mum as your anchor in terms of, when you want to push through those barriers or those challenges, you remember, the love and support you had from her and everything about her being and what she does to help you push through. And I'm sure that will be the same anchor that your children will use as well, which is absolutely beautiful. One of the other things I picked up on, which I think would be great for our audience to take away, is that, you allow yourself to have those crying weeks. I've never heard of that before, that term, but I think that's amazing, because as mothers, we often put a lot of pressure on ourselves just being a mum. And then when you have a business as well, that's even more pressure. And we have this kind of, society kind of puts this pressure on us that we should be able to cope with everything because we are a mum. We're good organizers, we're good planners, we can look after everyone, but we often don't look after ourselves. But giving ourselves that permission to have that crying week or day or crying hour or crying 5 minutes, whatever it is to us, is really, really important to acknowledge that it's okay. And I love how you say, to detox your emotions. Why not? Why not? We do, we go through these sometimes, mothers go through detoxing of their, of their bodies, their skin, whatever. Why not detox your emotions? And I think when we label it like that and give it permission, then it takes us away from that level of mum guilt that sometimes mothers often feel. Would you agree with that?
Of course, I agree. I agree with it. It's you have to put your words to what you want to do to make you feel good, because the words, they are power in them. So when I say my crying week, it gives me exactly like you say. I give myself the permission. Yeah, go ahead. It's your time. Cry in front of the mirror. Cry. Go outside and cry somewhere. And the detox, I love that word. I say now I'm detoxing my emotions, and I have that right. I deserve it. I deserve that moment that I can just cry and just be me.
Yeah.
No pressure, no expectations, no goals, no calendar, no agenda. Just let it be. And when you go back, oh, I forgot that meeting. Oh, well, I'm so sorry. I was detoxing my emotions. But do you understand what I'm saying? So
that is so crucial for self-care. And as mothers, sometimes we forget that we have to look after ourselves. We keep going, but we have to make sure that our cups are full. And by detoxing our emotions, like you say, having our crying weeks, that is all elements of self-care. And I love that. I'm certainly going to use that. I'm going to have my crying week. put it in the diary in advance. So
and Linda, another thing, when I do my crying week, I feel myself. I talk to myself and I feel myself. So I'm recording it, and I don't share it with anybody. If I feel like I want to share with a friend just to let them know this is how I feel today, then I do it. But I say them because I know someday, if I cannot reach my children, if they feel that in that situation, or maybe someone that I'm working with, if they are in a similar situation and I cannot reach them by talking to them, then I can show them. So it's a tool.
Yeah,
it's a tool for you to share, because it's a powerful message. Because when I'm recording it, I'm in all these raw feelings. So it's very real. It's neutral. It's authentic.
Yeah, and that's so powerful, because it's not just for you. You're helping others at the same time through your own raw emotions. But I would imagine also that when you've come out of your crying week and you found strategies to overcome whatever got you into that state, if you were to look back on those videos and say, yes, this is where I was, this is where I am now, that for you must be very empowering as well, that sense of achievement of going through that challenge but overcoming it.
Absolutely, it is empowering. And I encourage everyone, please do it.
Yeah,
I love it. Detox your emotions and play your videos.
I love that. Okay, so you also talked about proving that lady wrong, the lady that said, if you couldn't talk Swedish, you couldn't get a job. And that again is very, very inspiring, because sometimes, whether you're a man or a woman, when you hear that sort of negative behavior, when people tell you you can't do things, some people act like you and they say, yes, okay, well, I'm going to do whatever it takes to prove you wrong. But others then use that and they go into a very negative state, and they just focus on that negative phrase or word or that person, and they allow that to take over their life, and it then stops them from moving forward in whatever it is that they want to do. And as a mother, if our children see us doing that, then they naturally think that that's normal. They think that that's normal behavior. If somebody says something bad about us, we should just shy away from it. But you're showing such a great shining example by saying, I'm going to prove you wrong. So for you, was that an easy decision to make, in terms of saying, I'm going to prove you wrong, because of your upbringing and your loving environment? Or was it something that you had to make a conscious decision about, because you were going through lots of different emotions of, moving to this new country, adapting to the weather, adapting to the, the language changes as well? So how was that for you?
Sometimes when you are in a state, a mental state of chaos, you're angry, you're frustrated, and everything, and all you could think about, in my case, all I could think about is revenge. I couldn't really. I think about it and say it's kind of a destructive way of thinking in my own world. But at the time, I'm thinking revenge. I will show you. I don't like you telling me what to do, but I will show you. So I think revenge, and then all of these feelings, angry, frustrated, sad, and not belonging. All of these feelings just gave me the strength to do something. You have the power. You have the power to do something. No one has the power to do something. You have that power. You own your own person. If you don't want someone to tell you what to do, Lucy, then do it yourself. Do something. So it was in that state, and that's why I often share my stories, to use your fear and your frustration, use it as a power, as a tool to do something better for yourself. Don't stay there longer. The question is, okay, now I'm here, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm so irritated, I can yell and swear at everyone, but what am I going to do with myself?
Yes.
Because no one will come to me. I am the only one that has that power to influence my situation. So as a conscious decision, and no, it was it was just moments that just happened. I was like, no, I'm gonna do this. And yeah.
Awesome, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And you also mentioned about dance as well. So talk to us a bit about the dance. You use your dance to detox any other sort of emotions as well, or was it just for fun, or talk to us about your dance?
Dance is when I grew up in Samoa, dance we perform at occasions, and it's everywhere, and at parties when we just hang out with friends, we play music and then we dance. So it's a connection, dance to connect with others. We sing and we move in gracious movement, and it's also a moment for yourself. And so now and then at home, I play the music and I dance. I dance around in the house in my Samoan dance. And I do it as well because I believe that what we have, all of us, we have something with us from our culture, and we have talents. We have what we can offer, we can share to inspire and to motivate and to make a difference. So for the dance and the stories from Samoa, there are stories in themes of leadership, in self-care, in love, in kindness, and generosity, and empowerment. So I bring these stories with me, combined with dances, and deliver it to strengthen a message, for example, in self-leadership or self-image. So dancing is part of me, and I love doing it in occasions, or perform, or combine it with delivering a speech somewhere.
Okay, yeah, because movement and dance is energy, isn't it? And as they say, the highest energy wins. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. Now, before we close, what I'd love for you to do is to give us three top tips that you would give to mothers that perhaps feel that they're not good enough, or they feel that they don't have enough time in the day to pursue their passion. So what is it that you have experienced in your life, or that you're experiencing right now, that you can share? And it could be 2 tips, 3 tips, however many you can share with us today, to help our mothers in this audience listening to this, to encourage them to think that they are good enough, and that they can create more time in their life to pursue their passion.
Yes, I would love to share. Well, number one, the mirror. I love the mirror.
Okay.
I stand in front of the mirror and I talk to myself. And if you're not being able to convince yourself that you're good enough, then no one is going to do it for you. So stand in front of the mirror, use the mirror. You look in the mirror every morning when you do your hair, and you look for your flaws. So please don't look for your flaws. Those are not relevant. In front of the mirror, look for the best in you. So that's my number one. Look for the best in you in the mirror. And number two, I was mentioning this with my crying week. Allow yourself to unleash all the raw emotions in yourself. There is nothing wrong with it. It just gives you strength. So give yourself a crying week with the purpose to detox your emotions. Because when you feel like, okay, when you're crying, and then you feel at the end is, oh no, I am tired of crying now. And then you have the strength. Now I'm getting up and I do what I want to do. And number three is self-image. Self-image is very powerful. It's about how you see yourself. How you see yourself, not about what others see in yourself. How you see yourself, for your children, for your family. How you see yourself in your knowledge, in your competence, in what you believe in. And yeah, you are the best mother, regardless, you are the best. Yeah, that's what I want to share.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. I'm just going to summarize those because I love them. Thank you. So the first one is to get a mirror, and not to look for your flaws. Focus your energy and your time in looking at what's the best in you so that you can tell and convince yourself that you are good enough. Second point is allow yourself to unleash your emotions with your amazing crime week. Detox your emotions, which is just gold dust. And then the third one is about self-image, how you see yourself, whether that be in your knowledge and your outlook. You are the best mum. And I couldn't have summarized this interview any better. I love those 3 tips there. That's amazing. So for people that want to find out more about you, Lucy, or want to get involved in the coaching that your coaching business, how would they contact you? But before you tell us that, tell us a bit more about your coaching. What do you specialize in? Who are your key clients, your avatar?
Yes, I'm a career coach. So I coach people who want to make a move in their careers, struggling to find their place where they are right now. But the focus of my career is what I mentioned before. Of my coaching is the self-image and self-confidence. Those are the key things. I believe that if you're not ready, if you do not know yourself, if you do not have a good self-image and that confidence to go out there and expose yourself and show the world yourself, it doesn't really work if you apply for 100 jobs or you show up in 30 or 50 interviews. If you show up with confidence and you know that, well, this is me, then things will flow. But if you're showing up like, okay, yeah, maybe, not knowing who you are and what you want and who you would like to be in that business or in that company, then it will be a struggle. So those are the 2 things that I focus on in my career coaching, to build the self-confidence and to create a very strong self-image. So that's the thing I do. And my how do you say it? I'm thinking in Swedish now. And my clients, are they are both men and women at the moment. There are some men that reached out and would like to take part of my coaching, and I don't say no to them. So when people need help and they want help, then I will help them where I can, with what I can do and what I can offer. And the women, some of the women are from other countries that have moved to Sweden, and some are Swedish women. So I'm glad to help in different ways to whoever comes to me, and I know that I'm the right person. If I know them not the right person, I would tell you. But that's what I do, and I am also working on as a trainer. So I do. I'm working on workshops in mastering your self-confidence and building a strong self-image. So these workshops I do in line with the companies here in Sweden that are working with unemployed people that are looking for jobs, and then I will help them to work on this building the self-image, building self-confidence, to not just sit home and do nothing. If you have that strong image, you will go out and look for your job yourself, and not expecting that everything will deliver to you. You have to do your job too. So those are the things that I do. And we're talking about dancing, and I do inspirational speech as well with dance involved. So I call it dance and storytelling. And for example, if you say to me that I would like for you to perform at a wedding, and I will ask you, okay, in what type of theme would you like? Well, friendship. Then I would pack a short dance and combine with a little story that is centered in the friendship. with with traditional clothes from Samoa.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Incredible.
I shared, I did one a dance and story at the Global Woman here in Stockholm.
Yes, I saw that on Instagram. That was beautiful, and I love the outfit. Beautiful, beautiful traditional outfit. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yes.
So yeah, so you're involved in so many things. A very active lady, very heart-driven. So how would people contact you if they wanted to find out more about what you do, or if they wanted to perhaps get involved in your services and perhaps be a client, or maybe want you at their wedding or whatever? How would they contact you?
Yes, I am on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, and those are the social media platforms that I am very active in. So yeah, if it's Lucy Larsson, you can Google it or search for it. Google, search for it, and you will see me with a flower.
A very beautiful flower. Is it like yellow? I think it's a yellow flower. Is that right?
Yeah, no, on my it's I think it's white and yellow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think
right.
it's both. Yeah. So
beautiful. Okay, well, we'll certainly put your details on the YouTube channel as well. But it's been an absolute honor, Lucy, having you share your incredible story, your journey. You've been so inspiring, and I love everything that you said. You've given us some great nuggets here that our audience can use straight away. They can use straight away, or they can use it in the future. They can share it as well. So thank you for being such an inspirational guest. And, for anyone here that's listening, if you want to get in contact with Lucy, she just shared her details, but you'll also find her details at the bottom of the link below. Okay, so thank you so much, Lucy. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. It's a great honor and very exciting and inspiring to talk to you and share my story. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. See you. Bye.
Bye. But I've just paused that there now. Okay. When we first started, it did say recording, didn't it? And you pressed the button.
Yeah, it's recording here on my camera.
Yeah,
the whole time.
But at the beginning of the recording, we did press. When I pressed record, you had to press the button, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.